Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of November 13th, 2024. I'm your host, Shariafa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an Infantry Officer. Advancements and losses. North Group of Forces achieved tactical victories in the Kharkiv region, targeting Ukrainian mechanized and territorial defense brigades with substantial Ukrainian casualties and equipment losses, including armored vehicles and howitzers. A facility producing UAVs was also destroyed.
Welcome to Frontline Updates podcast. Welcome back to the program, listeners. Today, we have Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer, joining us to provide an update on the ongoing military operations as of November 13th, 2024. Thank you for being here, Colonel.
Thank you. Glad to be here to discuss the latest updates.
Let's start with an overview. Can you give us a high-level summary of what's happening on the ground in the key regions?
Our forces continue to conduct active operations across several fronts. The North, West, Southern, Center, and East groups are each targeting specific enemy positions, aiming to advance and secure our tactical and strategic objectives. In each area, we are inflicting significant personnel and equipment losses on the Ukrainian armed forces and securing advantageous positions.
Let's go into detail on each front. Starting with the North Group, what can you tell us about their actions?
The North Group focused operations in the Kharkiv region. They targeted and inflicted defeat on the 113th and 120th Territorial Defense Brigades, among other formations. Ukrainian losses were substantial, with over 100 personnel, several vehicles, and 122mm howitzers destroyed. Additionally, we neutralized a workshop for unmanned aerial vehicle production, which is a critical point in reducing enemy reconnaissance and strike capabilities.
And how about the West Group? What was the focus there?
The West Group has improved its tactical position by inflicting losses on the Ukrainian 28th, 43rd, and 63rd Mechanized Brigades, among others. We repelled 7 counterattacks by various Ukrainian units and inflicted heavy casualties, eliminating approximately 500 servicemen, several tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery pieces, and dismantling several ammunition depots. These actions were conducted primarily in the Kharkiv and Donetsk regions.
How about the Southern Group? I understand they've been quite active.
That's correct. The Southern Group achieved notable progress by advancing along the front line in Donetsk. They successfully engaged the 33rd, 54th, and 79th Brigades, as well as several others, repelling Ukrainian counterattacks and inflicting around 720 personnel losses. They also destroyed multiple artillery units and electronic warfare stations and seized 2 field ammunition depots.
And the Center Group? I heard they've been advancing deeply into Ukrainian defenses.
Yes, the Center Group has made significant advancements into enemy defenses. They targeted Ukrainian brigades, including the 100th Mechanized and 142nd Infantry Brigades, as well as territorial defense units and areas across Donetsk. Over 480 Ukrainian servicemen were lost, alongside several tanks, armored vehicles, and artillery units. We also repelled 10 counterattacks, which allowed our forces to solidify their positions.
The East Group has reportedly liberated a settlement. Could you expand on that?
The East Group successfully liberated the settlement of Rivnepil in the Donetsk region. In the process, they defeated formations of the 33rd Mechanized and 128th Mountain Assault Brigades and 2 Territorial Defense Brigades. 2 counterattacks were repelled, resulting in approximately 150 enemy personnel losses and the destruction of key assets, including a French-made 155mm Caesar artillery unit.
The DNEPR Group is also involved. What role are they playing in this operation?
The Dnipro Group inflicted losses on the 31st Mechanized Brigade and several territorial defense brigades in the Zaporizhia and Kherson regions. Ukrainian losses were significant, with around 65 personnel, vehicles, and artillery units destroyed, alongside a field ammunition depot.
It sounds like a comprehensive effort on all fronts. How is air and artillery support contributing to the operation?
Air, UAV, missile, and artillery support have been instrumental. We've targeted Ukrainian military infrastructure, airfields, and support facilities, inflicting heavy damage. Just today, our air defenses shot down 3 French-made Hammer-guided bombs, a HIMARS rocket, and 85 unmanned aerial vehicles. This level of air superiority is crucial in maintaining the upper hand.
Before we close, let's discuss the Kursk region specifically. What's the latest on the incursions there?
In the Kursk region, we are actively repelling Ukrainian attempts to penetrate the territory. Our North Group continues offensive operations, with the Ukrainian forces experiencing around 80 personnel losses and a considerable amount of armored equipment destroyed in the past 24 hours alone. These consistent efforts are crucial for securing our borders and preventing further incursions.
It sounds like an intense operational landscape with substantial engagements on multiple fronts. Any closing thoughts?
The enemy is attempting to hold their positions in the Kursk region by actively utilizing FPV calculations, but is losing equipment during both deliveries and evacuations. They are also increasing their personnel in these areas to halt the advance of the Russian armed forces. In the village of Dorino, there are ongoing battles in the main street between assault groups and the enemy. Heavy fighting is also taking place in the village of Novoivanovka, with both sides employing various equipment. Progress is being made, although it is slow. The 106th Airborne Division is pushing the enemy south from Zeleny Shlyak and Dorino towards Sverdlikovo. Our artillery, assault groups, and UAV crews are actively engaged in the fight. Heavy combat is ongoing.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you. It's important to keep the public informed, and I'm pleased to provide this briefing. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken stated that Israel has achieved its goals and that it is time for the fighting in Gaza to come to an end. The Health Ministry of Lebanon reported that an Israeli raid in Dahet Aramoun has resulted in the deaths of 6 people and injuries to 15 others.